I'm here at the Racing Academy in County Kildare to catch up with Paddy Flood to find out everything that's going on here at race and see some conditional jockeys being put through their paces as well.
Good, right. Shorten the reins away there and get into it. So before you hit him now, make sure you get it out, show it to him. Nice rhythm if you can.
To hit a certain part?
Yeah, that pad there is kind of, what I try and do is get them to leave the mark this way rather than going down the ways. So if you're going down the ways, you're hitting it down the rib cage. Yeah? Okay boys, stand up, have a breather there. When you hit him, bring it straight back to him, alright? Because you're leaving it there for half a stride, and then you're coming back. So the minute you feel it hitting him, bring it back to his eye, alright? Go again there. Good, yeah, much better. Yeah, you're just hitting them on the run, you know, that sort of way. Don't leave it there. Good. Okay, boys, have a little breather. I can chat to you now, Emma, about this one.
Yeah.
Nagle will show you. So, try and get your heel as level as you can. Exaggerate your knee out. So you're not leaning on your knees. Here has to do all the work. Here and the hip. So Nigle's going to get into his push position, not touch the neck. He's going to actually have to move it with his legs and then follow it with his hands. And whenever you're ready, Nigle, you can kick on.
It's all about balance here.
All about balance. So the lower leg really has to be locked in and your hip has to be locked in. So basically that's what it kind of feels like in the last half a furlong of a race, and you've nothing there, it's just all you. But you keep that rhythm is how you keep them running, you know.
What muscles are you kind of working? It's kind of like...
Oh, this is really hard work. He's making it look easy now. So your hip, your leg, your knee, but mostly down here. All right, now you can relax. What a lot of us tend to do, and you see nowadays, is from riding out at home, you'll always ride a little bit on your knee, and you'll not put yourself under pressure. And that, if you're not riding, racing every day, that becomes your style. But then you get to the racetrack, you're stuck in a racing saddle, and you're going down to jumps, and all of a sudden your hands are going up because you can't bend down. If your knees are going in, you can only get to there. So then you're left with your hands up. And Niall came to me first. He'd kind of said to me that the last couple of jumps he was coming up a bit, and we're just trying to fix that at the minute. And the last winner he rode, he was brilliant on it. You know, he was.
And you're getting these lads in, are you watching back their races and stuff like that to see what you think they can improve on and that kind of thing? Yeah,
sometimes I don't get to see him live, obviously, because I'm working away, but I'll always throw the eye over it that evening or the next day. It's just more for little tips and tricks. They're just little habits they've taught themselves, but they're fixable, you know, which is good. And like that little board I'm just going to get Paddy to stand on, that's as good as anything to see where your balance is at. So try and get you just pad. You can use it, you can lean on it to get down, and then just push away there, all right? And Emma's going to do it after, show you how easy it is.
Hard to keep the rhythm and balance at the same time.
Very, very hard. Whoever cracked that. Go on, tell me how easy it is. Go on.
I'm going to fall straight off it. One second now, I get set. Oh. It's tough.
It's so hard, you know.
It's really tough.
It's like, if you think about it, even if you're riding a flat horse or a jumps horse, if we start interfering with legs and hands and stuff like that.
Is that what it is? You're not trying to interfere with the horse too much?
Exactly, you're just trying to let him run and jump. As long as we can stay balanced on them and planted in the iron, that's half the battle.
And let them do their own thing.
Yeah, let them do their own thing. And with that, if a horse makes a mistake and your balance is good in the iron, you have more chance of staying on him, you know, that sort of way. Whereas if you're on your knees and your body weight comes up, well then the centre of gravity is gone, you know. But for a simple little tool, it's great, you know, it's only about 20 quid on Amazon. But yeah, happy days.
When they're riding the finish then, like, is it more rhythm than just pure strength, or what is it? Because like you see the likes of...
strongest in the world, but now you need the strength for the balance. But we forget sometimes is the iron is kind of it's our accelerator and our brake. So we put our foot out in front of us a little bit using the iron, but a lot of us can just get our hands up and get our knees in, and kind of you'll start hurting your lower back. But also, to get a horse to run, you need to be pushing out of the iron. You know, from that lower leg, that's where the squeeze comes from.
Yeah.
And it's the same going to a jump. If you're going to a jump using your hands and hoofing your horse, they'll tend to go up in the air, or else they'll tend to jam on and then go up or not jump right. Whereas if you can stay in your iron, just getting down nice and neat, that gives horses confidence too. You know, the lads are good. All right, we'll go in and do a bit of schooling. You're underneath yourself, right? So now, like we did before, hands out in front of you, let him make the decision, not you. Don't be having him waiting for you and waiting for that bit. Like we said, he's electric, he's quick. Let him, this time, Niall, throw everything at him. Let him do it himself. Really good schooling. Well, that's what I mean, like, you get him to make up the decision, not kind of whoop last second. Like even trapping away there to the last. Yeah. He was watching everything. He wasn't worried about you.
He's giving it so much respect.
He has to do it.
When he is long.
Yeah, because he knows you're on his back going, well, if you want to do that, go ahead, I'm there.
Yeah.
Whereas there's no mixed signal there whatsoever. It's good forward momentum. That was lovely now. We're going to go all together, okay? So what I'd like to see is he's going to set the pace, right? 3 lengths, 3 lengths. And try and keep 3 lengths all the way. If you make a mistake, you got to keep up with him, all right? So do, say, 3 laps. Roll away now. Make them do a bit of work to keep up with you, all right? Hold on. Okay, guys, very good, really, really good. Just all you have to do that is on horses is enjoy them. Really good, isn't he? That was good. Well done, Paddy. He was slow, but you had to give him a dig, you know. But you got there. You got him back there. Got him competitive. Have you any questions for me, lads? Are you happy with that? I'm very happy. If there's anything there you want to ask me, or if you're not happy with, shout at me. But I don't know if the lads might agree. Emma, what do you think of that?
Very good, yeah.
It's good one now. Niall here a few weeks ago was kind of just come in and let him school. So he'd an elbow out, he'd a kick going. He just didn't trust himself.
Yeah.
And then when you don't trust yourself, you don't trust the horse. If you're anyway tight,
He'll go.
He doesn't really trust himself. So he needs the rider to be completely relaxed and let him think everything is going really smooth. And you can see him there, he looks so good.
Would you pick out horses then that you think might improve a particular rider? Or?
Yeah, so these are 3 good horses. I had the boys on other ones the other day. They were used this morning, so I don't want to overdo them as well, is horses that like to go short, really short.
Yeah.
So but some jockeys can tend to get into a habit of, when they get tight, trying to get them over the fence with their hands. And you'll see horses jumping with their backs that way. What I was trying to teach them is let the horse roll to the bottom and let him bend. But in order for a horse to bend, you have to be with him. You know, you have to let him come up underneath you and not bring him this way.
Kind of similar to the simulator, kind of leaving them to do their own thing.
It's like driving a Formula 1 car. It's little tweaks.
Yeah.
If you see a jockey doing a lot on a horse, it's not right. You know, that sort of way. It should be all streamlined. And we talk about this famous rhythm of a horse getting into a rhythm. That starts at the first jump. You set the tone for the horse. So you make the middle part of the race really easy for the horse and really easy for the jockey, and then you switch back on the last 3 or 4 jumps. You know,
you're kind of giving the horse confidence as well.
You give him and when you get him in that rhythm, it's the easiest job in the world. You just sit there because he knows you're with him, and he starts quickening down to a fence himself. It's when we're or too much is not good on these horses. Like I could put a couple of novice riders on him and you'd be closing your eyes to where he stands off, you know. When Niall has him, you can see the horse's head is down looking at the jump, watching everything, and he's not worried about Nagle, not worried about fighting him. He's just worrying about getting from A to B fast. At the end of the day, it's lovely if you're a jockey having a lovely picture on your wall of the last. But if your horse is going up into the clouds, we polls for that, you know what I mean? We want them just clipping that top bar and being as fast as possible.
And if you see a rider that's kind of coming from eventing or show jumping, you teach them kind of a totally different style of jumping then? Or is it,
do you know, to be fair to them, their lower leg's always very good.
Yeah.
And from their hip down is always really good, but they're just a bit more here.
Yeah,
they want the horse underneath them more, whereas we're trying to get the horse to level off and flick the top of that jump. And you know, really, like 9 times out of 10 thoroughbreds, you're trying to teach them that the jump isn't on fire. You don't want them whoop in the air. It might look really good, but it's slow. You get to tilt them, and if you lose a half a length at every jump, if you have 10 jumps, that's 5 lengths gone before you come off the bridle, you know. But if you're gaining a half a length, it's quite nice to be, just sitting there on the bridle enjoying it. But I was very pleased with the lads now this morning. That's really, really good.
It's a massive aid for the jockeys, I'd imagine, because you could be in a bad habit and you wouldn't even know it yourself, and you can spot something here easy enough as they're going around, I suppose.
Yeah, I've done it myself. You know, you just think you're not riding well. And the problem is when you're riding well, you're not thinking about it. It just happens.
Yeah.
So when you stop riding well and things get on top of you a bit, it's very hard to figure it out. But if someone else is looking at it with a pair of eyes and a pair of ears and just say, try this or try that, and like we've seen from the guys there this morning, their schooling was super. But 1 or 2 of them have been here a couple of weeks ago just going, I don't know what's wrong, I can't get a horse to do this. I used to be able to get him to do it without thinking. And it's just, you might have just picked up a little habit, and I can see it and we can work on it. And it mightn't be a habit, it might just that they need to be told that's really good schooling, you should be happy with that, you know. It's
confidence, I suppose, is a big thing for the young riders, because they haven't really proven themselves yet, probably.
Yeah, 100%, you know. And look, they're expected to be very, very good very early in Ireland, and there's a lot of pressure on it. But you won't hear me shouting and roaring with them in here. We'll have a chat, what's going on. And sometimes I've met a few that they want to come in and use the simulator, but it ends up an hour of a chat, you know, just somewhere you know, they'll struggle to break the ice. Like most men say, well, you struggle to talk, but horse racing is a great way to kind of break someone down, you know. Maybe just sitting down in the simulator room thinking, is there anything you want to work on? First question, you know, what are you not happy with? And that might just lead to what's happening in the yard. It mightn't be to be with riding at all. It
can be a hard thing, I suppose, for them to open up about. Like we saw Brian Cooper when he retired, he was saying, you know, there was stuff going on in his head for a long time that he didn't say out loud. So it's probably, you know, having somewhere to come like this is great for them as well, isn't it?
Yeah, look, we're nowhere near the likes of rugby or soccer, but we've taken a step to it, you know. Life in general, it's hard to do that. The old stigma in racing that, well, you're not tough enough. That has to go, you know, because the talent is there and the boys are working hard, and mentally, you know, it's a hell of a tough game. You're going to get beat a lot more than you're going to win. You're going to have a lot more downs than you do up. You have an ambulance chasing you around doing your job. You know, all these things. And you're a one-man band at the end of the day. You might work for someone, but basically you're self-employed. So when it comes down to it, you know, your loyalties should be to yourself. But it's just, look, it's not a stigma. It's more, lads don't know that they can go and chat. I was like that when I retired. I'm still not fully convinced I know what I'm doing. I have a little bit of imposter syndrome doing this, because I'm thinking I'm getting better at it now. But you know, all you've done all your life is ride a horse, and it was never hard when you were a kid. It was fun. But then all of a sudden you have a couple of ups, downs, breaks here and there and everywhere, and then your confidence is dented. And it might never have happened before in life, but you don't know how to deal with it. So we're trying to just get it out there that, you know, there is help and there is, and hopefully we're doing the right thing by them, you know.
Yeah, and the talent is obviously, like, probably never been as much young talent coming through in the country, I suppose, year in, year out in Ireland. And like, even watching the lads going around here, like, they're all really, really good riders. Like, what are you actually looking for when you're watching them schooling? Is it style or position or? Yeah,
I start with kind of balance, Emma. If they can balance off their irons, we can work everything, because if they're standing in their irons properly, they can bend their knees to get the style. It's if they're on their knees a little bit, if their hands are a little bit long, when I'm schooling with the guys in here, I like to do a lot. You know, you'll see it this morning at good speed, where it's, you know, they're riding handicappers, they're not riding babies. I don't need them to mind them. Obviously, need them to be safe, but just to let them open up and see what a horse can really do. But it's if you're not riding at the races every day of the week, it's very hard to get a racing style.
Yeah.
So you've got your riding out style at home, and 9 times out of 10 it's a bit lazy, because you could be riding 10, so you're not going to be killing yourself every lot. So it starts with the simulator. I try and get their balance really nailed down before I get anything else, because if they've balance, they can actually hit a horse twice as easy. You don't have to move your body, you're not relying on anything else. It's just, you know, you planting your foot in the iron, and I think that's the basics, but we forget sometimes it's the basics.
And do you let the style come naturally then to the rider? Like, obviously there's loads of different...
Yeah, there's a lot of natural good style. A smaller lad is obviously going to be naturally, style wise, looks better on a horse, but Davy Russell was champion jockey. He wasn't the most stylish man in the world, but he had some balance and he had some lower leg to get a horse to run, you know.
Yeah.
So there's no one size fits all. If their balance is good, you know, the style will come, you know, and horses will jump well. Like that, if you're not losing ground at your jumps in a race, you have a hell of a good chance. But then on the other side of it, you have to have that bit of bravery and a bit of cleverness to actually put the horse in a winning spot. And sometimes you can overdo a horse needs to be dropped in, or mind yourself a little bit, and all them things can be worked out with us with a phone call, you know, because we've all done it, we've all made mistakes. So if we can help the lads in any way, sure, it's only a good thing.
Here with Steph McGlenn at Race. Steph, what's your own position here?
So I'm practical trainer and part of the riding instructor team, and I do a lot of horse care with the students when they're here.
Brilliant. And how many horses do you have here at the moment?
We've 23 at the moment.
And a lot of care involved in them, I suppose. What's the kind of day-to-day routine like here?
Usually we start at 8 and they fed hay, then lots go on the walker, and there can be courses in, so they'll ride off the walker, muck out, general daily care. They go out in the paddock sometimes, they kind of switch it around to see whoever needs to go out. They could be on the gallops, on the curry, in the arena, schooling, lots of different stuff.
Lots of variety to their life, so I suppose.
Yeah.
And they're all kind of ex-racers. Have they all raced when they come
here?
Not
all of them. Some of them were really good, some not so good. We had a few that weren't raced at all. One horse, he's actually 24, he's been with us, I'd say maybe 10, 12 years now. He's very good. He's brilliant for like the younger kids that would come in for the junior academy days. You know, he nearly listens to us rather than them. And then we have some of the better horses. Like we've got Royal Diamond, some few good chasers, Prosperity Square. So all point-to-pointers, flatbreds, everything really.
Lots of different kind of horses in there, and when you're kind of sourcing them, they get donated by their owners, and you kind of check out, do they suit the lifestyle here, I suppose?
Yeah, so they're on a permanent loan here, so the trainer will usually ring up, say they have a horse they think is suitable, and then if we're able to take it, we'll take it. But if not, then we have to go on a trial basis to see if they are suitable. They need to do a lot of different things, but yeah, usually it's the trainer that would kind of be in touch, or kind of a contact of one of the instructors here would ring in. So they're on like a long-term loan with us, but they're owned still by their owner or the trainer as such.
Very good. And what kind of a personality of a horse are you looking for that will fit in here?
Not too hot. We doesn't really matter so long as they're safe and not too dangerous. We do have a few hotter headed horses that kind of get a bit worked up, but it's good to have a variety because students aren't going to get the same horse in the yard. They're all going to be on a different horse, so they need to learn an easy one, a quiet one, a more difficult one. But usually we'd have to have them. We can't take colts, obviously, so most of our horses are geldings because mares tend to go into breeding. So we only have one mare at the moment. But yeah, usually they just need to kind of be fitted with the routine as such.
And when they come here after having a racing career, does it take them long to settle into the new kind of different life?
It depends. Some of them let down really easy and they're quick. They kind of just, this is nice, I like this type of lifestyle. Other ones, it takes them a year or two to just kind of relax and chill out. We had a few horses come in, and a couple of months they'd put on a lot of weight, and then sometimes it would take them a year to kind of put on that muscle again and the weight to relax themselves.
Do you have a favourite in the yard?
Yeah, Prosperity Square.
Why him?
I just think he's savage jumping. I think he actually jumped in with you guys earlier on the chestnut.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. I love jumping. I would just sit there and he just does everything. It's great.
And they love their job. Like watching them jumping there, they prick their ears and
Love
they just
it,
go for
yeah,
it.
Yeah, I do think they go so faster. I'm like, slow down, mind my horses. But no, they need to teach the people that they need to have a purpose really. So
Great, thanks so much.
no
Then.
problem. Thank you.